think I'm gonna put my mics on. Yo, I just want to holler at y'all real quick about everything popping in the world. You know what I'm saying? Welcome back to the channel. Obviously, we got the situation with Diddy. You know, it's Monday morning, so that means he got to be back in trial again today. And I think we in a deliberation level. You know, I mean, with them actually going over the shit, seeing what's gonna happen with him. You know what I'm saying? It's been a lot of discussions about it, so I always talk about it. But y'all let me know what y'all got to think about that in the comment section because obviously as a black dude, see another black dude go down. You know what I'm saying? Especially over just dating chicks that agreed already to rock with him the way they wanted to rock with him, but now all of a sudden they mad and hate him. You know what I'm saying? But that's like something he gotta kind of contend with because relationships is weird, and he messed up and messed with some bras that's kind of whack. But that put him in a precarious situation. So again, he got to deal with that. You know what I mean? But a lot of people saw his lawyer do the closing arguments last Friday, and he went hard, man. And he called the chicks out, and he called them out for what they really is, and they basically just uh, opportunists. People that's trying to come up and make it, get rich off of the name, get rich off of the situation, and that's what they doing. And it's nothing I guess Diddy could do about that because again, he jumped into bed with them, he dated the girls for decades, and now you see where ultimately it led to just a whack relationship with some bras that ain't 100 with you. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think he could catch that. You know what I'm saying? I think him being just a dude that was just dating the broads, I don't think he saw that future tense where they snakes. You know what I'm saying? And now they want you to go down for your level of kicking it. You know what I'm saying? What you call yourself being into it. And a lot of the stuff that they was claiming he did is personal stuff, man. It's like who even know that stuff about somebody else? To even hear that about Diddy or any person is like that's too much information. Like I don't even know dude like that and don't even know him like that. I just thought he was a musician, but they call that what you call a humiliation routine, where everybody just jump on there and say some wildness about somebody, and it's just like, dang, you know what I'm saying? And this is his relationship chicks that he was like in love with, supposedly. You know what I'm saying? So it's like relationships crazy, man. I don't know what to say about the dude, but hey, at the end of the day, you got to watch who you're around when you're a millionaire, because he's fighting for his life right now. And these chicks, it's easy for them to walk away and get back. That's what his lawyer was saying. He said each one of these chicks ain't got no criminal lawyers. They got lawyers to find them to sue, like civil suit lawyers. You know what I'm saying? All right. Yeah. So I was tripping about that because I was like, damn, he don't even mind. And he said these bro, and then he said Cassie said, he said title actually. She said Cassie said that when she put a text up, she said this is all about um, in domestic violence. This is not about, what they calling all these charges against him. And I was tripping about that. I said, damn, Cassie said that. You know what I'm saying? Cassie said that, like, yo, this is not about uh, 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 this drug stuff that they claiming this dude was on. This is about, uh, what I'm saying, him beating me up. And she was embarrassed by that because my lady was like, if they sue him like this, can they actually get some money in the future? And I said, hell yeah, they can. She said, but she gave her 30 million already. He gave her 30 million already. I said, yeah, but at the end of the day, when she had to go up in there and talk on trial and explain the situation that she was in with him, that made it more like what she had to actually pay some. He had to actually, she embarrassed herself further because when she did the suit, that was private. You know what I'm saying? Like, it happened, but didn't nobody really know. But when now with this scenario, you know exactly what happened. You know what I'm saying? She actually put it out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, damn, what can you say about the boy? You know what I'm saying? But he did a crazy little move on himself. So what can you say, man? Diddy, you out there, boy, but I don't know if I could deal with that. And then like a real big question came about when they were saying, can Diddy actually deal with the fact that if he gets let out of jail, do you think these people that's his jury is gonna actually let him out of jail? And that was a really interesting question because I was like, I really don't know. I said, I really don't know because technically, let me see if my sound is right. Yeah, it is. So I said, technically, if they let Diddy out after this time frame, and those guys, there's like regular humans as his jury. I said it might be hard for them to let dude out. You know what I'm saying? Because they thinking like, say, so here's the makeup. They got, they have 5 black people, so now they down to 4 because they kicked one off. One person got kicked off the list. I guess he did something or whatever, and the people got mad at him, so they kicked him off the list. So he basically wasn't doing the trial no more. You know what I'm saying? So when that happened for Diddy, he got kicked off. One black person got kicked off the trial. So now you got 8 non black people and 4 black people. So you got 1 Asian, 1 Hispanic, and then 5 white men. So that's why we was thinking that. I think it's like 2 Hispanics, 1 Asian, and then 5 white men. So it's 8 other people, and then 4 black people. And then it's been said that all of the people that's on the trial, their age bracket is above the age bracket of 55 years old. So that means these are older people, and that means they're gonna listen to what the shit that he's saying about this guy's lifestyle, being a multi-billionaire, and they're gonna cringe. You know what I'm saying? Because it's private. It's like don't nobody know this stuff about anybody. And if you did, you would probably be doing your best homie, like somebody you knew. Like they would not be somebody that's a complete stranger with you because this is again, it's humiliating. And all of the stuff that they got going on in the world today about people's sexualities and stuff, it's just all private. So, I mean, some people do wear it on their sleeve, and that's their business because they live in their life. But as far as being a celebrity and the whole world knowing you as a creative or whoever you do singing, dancing, now everybody know all that about you. This is like how you lose fans because people are going to internalize your life, make it seem like, what if it was me? I can't believe this person's like that. He must be crazy. You know, people are going to internalize your life as if it's theirs. But when you got somebody like Diddy who got billions of dollars, you're a regular person. You're on the trial to be making a verdict about his life, and you thinking about. So he better go back to the 5 mansions, 3 helicopters, because they didn't told you what he owned. You know, 3 helicopters, 5 mansions, big ass crib, and I'm gonna just sit right here and shit and be a regular ass nigga again, going back to my normal life like just me as Joe. Fuck that. You know, now you got a decision to make. And it's easy to be like, man, fuck him. I'm not finna let you get out of jail, nigga. You finna go back to fucking them girls in them big ass cribs you got, and I'm not going for it. And that's what your mind gonna say. Because he's rich. He don't need shit from you. You know what I'm saying? And this is a point right now where you get to make a decision on a multi-million-dollar person name. See, somebody like Diddy, he's not gonna ever stop making money. So even if he go to jail, his brands and businesses is still gonna make money. Because when you got $1 billion, you got operations that operate even if you're not there. So he's not gonna care if he's in prison because he's still gonna make money. He might make another $1 billion in another 2 years, especially with all this new shit. He got music playing, ventures already rolling, real estate. He gonna fucking be rich forever. And that's really what he did by becoming an artist back in the day. And this is what made him such a unique person. And that's why a lot of times people believe it's racism that he going through this, because he was able to parlay his little connection to white people as far as being his record company into a fucking real $1 billion brand. From a record company to a clothing line to a fucking liquor to all the ventures that this nigga put his damn hands into and all the people he connected to. It was a time when his parties was mentioned at the fucking Oscars. White folks was talking about his parties like that shit was, we obviously wasn't gonna get in them damn parties, but they was coming to them motherfuckers. So you couldn't see that at that time that they was setting him up for this ultimate downfall. We just thought it was some fucking parties that if you ever made it to Hollywood, you was gonna try to go to one. Now it's a couple of decades in the future, and it's like, oh yeah, them same parties they were talking about, he was putting that baby oil on bitches. Then what the fuck y'all putting that shit all over fucking TV for? So you could tell that they was setting this nigga up because they played that shit on TV. Every fucking Oscar. Oh, we met up at P. Diddy party. It's going to be a P. Diddy party. Okay, well, fine. I ain't in fucking California. I ain't invited to that shit. But now in the future, they like, yeah, guess what he was doing? Well, motherfucker, you was standing right next to him because y'all mentioned that shit on fucking TV all goddamn day. So I know he's sitting in the jail like, then why the fuck was they promoting my shit on fucking news and shit, talking about all the celebrities going to be there, and now I'm a fucking pariah in prison? This shit don't fucking make no sense. But this is what they was doing, setting him up, setting us up. So now we all believed in this person and believed in his credentials or whatever the fuck they claim he was, just so they could turn around and say, oh, guess what he was doing? He was trafficking women. Y'all, if you was at the same parties promoting this shit on TV, I'm sure you saw some of this shit happening way before the fucking raid happened. So it's all fake and smoke and mirrors. But again, he put himself in a scenario where other people. This is what I always tell, people, who I can. Rest in peace to my little sister, because this is the last time I told somebody this. I said, you never want to put yourself in a predicament where other people get to decide for you your life. So, for instance, if you outside, you ain't got no ID on you, and you get hit by a car, or you get hurt. Well, now you go to the hospital, it's other people who gonna start deciding about your life. Like, well, hey, who is this person? I don't know. Well, maybe we'll take some of their organs. Well, you don't fucking know shit about you. You can't make no decision. You ain't got your ID on you. Or for instance, you get arrested, and now all these motherfuckers trying to tell you about what the fuck you did, and you sitting back like, what the fuck was these people? Bitch, you weren't even there. But they get to take these decisions about you now because you under their tutelage, you got arrested. Now all these folks get to sit here and decide. And that's the problem. And so that's what Diddy put himself in a scenario with, by being around them bitches and trusting them bitches and fucking with them bitches and giving them his motherfucking money and access to his life and coming around me, and 10 years can go by. This bitch talking about this nigga was going to release sex tapes and videos about her if she would have left him. That's the weakest bullshit of ever, when actually you did leave him and it was 6 years ago and still no fucking videos came out. So how the fuck you saying that was a threat on your life when he was gonna drop some tapes, and you been gone for the nigga from 6 years and ain't never no tapes came out? Then if they convict this nigga, they snakes. But I told you, I see it. They're not gonna let a rich billionaire nigga go back to that lifestyle. It's in your hands. All you gotta do is just say convict. That's why I said there's only 4 black people on that motherfucker thing. And if they got white bosses or white jobs, they're not finna go against the white people. They're gonna feel uncomfortable doing that shit. They're gonna feel like, I gotta pay my rent. I gotta take care of my life. This shit is not gonna be no hunt down. Because after trials, the news people be in their face. And they be like, what happened? What happened? And they trick on each other. Well, I was 3 people in there, but it was an older lady who we couldn't convince. They tell on each other, and the motherfucking news gonna be dead in your face. Like, are you the person they were speaking about? Why didn't you convict? It's your choice not to do it. It ain't illegal. But yeah, that bust your ass out. And then the white folks come to you and say, hey, you want to write a book about your time frame, being in a jury on this trial of the century type shit? Yeah, it's money making shit when you do that. But technically, if they want this nigga convicted, any black person that don't play along gonna probably have a fucked up ass future ahead of them. You understand what I'm saying? Or if they do just stand tall and say, I don't give a fuck, they'll probably reconvict this nigga. They'll try to do the trial again. It's a mistrial. All right, we running this shit back. You know what I'm saying? So these are the points about other people deciding shit for your life, and it's never gonna be friendly shit. Now you a multi-billionaire, and some regular ass Joe and John motherfuckers who just went to work every day and went their ass home, watch TV and shit. They got to decide if you spend the rest of your fucking days in jail, or if you come home tomorrow night. Because the nigga supposed to be walking up out of there, from what we heard in the trial that they uncovered. Obviously they don't know what these people gonna say, but everybody said the same shit. He whooped her ass. He chased her down. He punched her in the face. Everybody said the same shit. Nobody really said nothing new or unique. Everybody said the same exact shit. He got violent. He smacked the shit out of her. He got violent. He choked the shit out of her. Nobody said nothing different. So it's like we just basically saw a domestic violent nigga who was really over the top, and he was rich, so he could say and do what the fuck he wanted to do, and he did. Now, y'all supposed to be mad at him for that, but come on, put a nigga in prison 25 years because you was mad at your girlfriend, or you jumped her, or you smacked her around and shit. Come on, get the fuck out of here. And then she been gone from you. This particular girlfriend, the same girlfriend, she been gone from you for over 6 years. She's married with 2 or 3 kids, and you just gave her $30 million. How the fuck is she having a bad life? She got 3 kids on the way, pregnant, just had a baby within another couple of weeks ago. And the broad is pregnant with her own child. She has just had it like right during the trial. And now she got $30 million to go do anything she wanted in her life. And you helped her with that. You gave her that $30 million. Your bank account did that. So you like boom. And then the other chick, he paying for this broad crib. $10,000 a month. They asked her right in the court. They say, is he still paying for your crib? She said, yes. What the fuck? You in the trial. Imagine this. You in trial. They coming at you like, you going to prison, motherfucker. I'm locking your ass up. And the person who you knew intimately and close is in court. You paying a motherfucking rent. Why you locked up still? You that rich. You ain't even call the people and say, hey, cancel that bitch. She coming to court. Hey, cancel her motherfucking rent payment. She finna move out that crib. You got this much of a heart for this piece of shit, motherfucker. You sit back and be like, man, just keep paying the rent. What? I'm glad he didn't cut the rent, because they would have used that in trial. Did he just stop paying your rent after he realized you was going to trial against him? They would have said that shit. But at the end of the day, I don't think he did nothing wrong if he would have canceled payment on the rent for them whack bitches because they came and showed their true colors that they wasn't his friend. And coming to trial against a motherfucker to this extent, every day showing your motherfucking ass up, maiming all of these bogus ass moments that you grown as hell you didn't have to experience. Oh, he raped me in Atlanta, and then I met him in Costa Rica, and we caught back up in whatever his damn island is, somewhere, Bora Bora. Like, what the fuck you doing that for? So these are grown decisions. You decided to be around somebody who was a mental case, and he had problems. He had issues that was probably something he needed to work on. But if you would have got yourself back to your life, you wouldn't even had to spend enough time with this motherfucker. But she spent 11 years around that boy. 11 years is a long fucking time, but that don't mean you get to control somebody. And that don't mean you get to make them marry you or make them do shit. And if he want to move on and say that's enough with your ass, that's really what a lot of this time just should be with the R. Kelly and the Diddy's. And even Bro Cosby, if you chitting with a chick or you got a chick on the side, and as soon as you dump her, then that's when the bitch get mad. That's when she pissed off, and that's when she like, nah, fuck that control. I'm gonna make your life fucked up or whatever. And then people know this. People know this, but he shouldn't have had them that close to him. He should have had them a little bit pushed away, where it was like, I see you when I see you, versus you my woman, we traveling, 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 traveling. Because that put a person so close to you, so intimate to you, that they evilness that they want to project towards you, you can rarely hide from it. It's going to splatter right on you because you literally got these people right up under you. And none of these people deserve to be right up under you. This is another thing that he going to learn if he hasn't learned that by now. Watch who you have up under you because what they got to do to get around you, like I always say, every time I do the podcast on Diddy, I always say the same thing. When is the last time you hung out with your boss at your job? Like whatever job you do, whenever you had a job, if you're working right now, I don't give a fuck if it's the CEO of YouTube. When the fuck have you hung out with them and was like, hey, I'm gonna see you Friday, or what you doing Saturday night? I see you later on today. You don't do that. You normally got a job. You normally work somewhere. You don't see the fucking boss. You don't talk to that motherfucker. He don't talk to you. You don't see his ass after 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock or when the job ends. You see that motherfucker next time you gotta come to work. It's like that. It's not like it's supposed to be like that or you trying to make it like that. It's just fucking like that. So that's the same thing. When Diddy had these girls around him, he should have not been trying to be so buddy buddy and freaky freaky. It's like, nah, if we hung out once or twice, that's fine. But this overindulging with these people for days and weeks and months, having sex offices and shit in hotel rooms, is giving a person a false pretense. Now a person might think that you need them or they're a part of you or all of us is one. And you might not feel like that. You might be like, no, I'm just getting my freak on. What you doing? And they looking at you like, no, I think me and you got a real relationship right now. And I think that that's the part with Diddy. He killed himself with that because he made it seem like for him and the girl that they was closer than he really wanted to be with her. And that was his downfall. But is he going to become free after this? That's really something to question because I hesitantly think that these people will let him out of jail. I hesitantly think that. I don't think that these people let him out of jail because he's a billionaire, and you never really have a billionaire in your hands. Like you get to make a decision for a billionaire. It's always the other direction. They making decisions for you. So now regular people get to make a decision on if Diddy get to go home to his mansions, no less. Remember, he's not regular. When Diddy go to the crib, it's gonna be motherfucking. They might literally have an orchestra playing because they can afford it. You know what I'm saying? They might actually do that. You know what I'm saying? When they say it's gonna be a get together, it might actually be one. If me and you say that, we got to see who can make it out to our crib, or if they still fucking with us, because they could easily be like, no, I don't even. What they accuse you of is too much. I got daughters, I got sons, whatever. But when you see a black man can raise to that extent from 1993, 94 to 2024, 30 years of making a mark in the world and then making money to that extent, and then white people could take him down and put him in jail. The question raised in my mind is, how do you escape? Because if we're black people in America and you can go to jail for a criminal activity like selling drugs, having a gun, growing up in your neighborhood, then you can make a business, you can make contracts, you can make deals, you can make big corporation shit. Your clothes could be in Macy's like his was when I was coming up. And then ultimately you could find yourself in jail. So it's like, so damn, how the fuck you escape? So there's really no escape for black people. So I can't escape through business and coming up through business structure because other humans gonna come around me and throw jealousy and feel like envy and feel like you doing something that's I can't do and who are you to have things or whatever the fuck people have in their brains. Then if I don't do that, then I'll just stay in my neighborhood and chill and work a job and shit. Y'all can put me over on the side of the road and say I got drugs in my car or maybe I am selling drugs to make ends meet and I'm still end up my ass in jail. So basically, for the African American man, there is no escape. So you got one direction to head, and that's in jail. So you figure out how you want to get there. You want to get there as a teenager, as a youngster, run around with your homies and shit. Somebody give you a gun, you pop that bitch in the crowd, they grab you, they put you in a thing, you do a little time, you get out that motherfucker, you did your jail thing. Or do you want to wait till you my age and then you got a big business, you running shit, bitches around you, you kicking it, drinking, partying, having fun, everybody looking like they agreeable, and then they say, nah, we hate you and you was a fucking killer and you kept me in your basement, and now white folks pop out and be like, oh, for real, he did? Okay, jail. So where do you want to go to jail at? You want to go to jail as a young man or you want to wait till you're in your 50s? Because they even postpone that shit and that wait till in your 80s, like motherfucking Bill Cosby. They'll pop out and be like, yeah, you rubbed a bitch ass in 61. So here she is, and she said you did it. You going your ass to jail. So when is it? Because to me, it's like if they doing retroactive crime where people get to go to jail for retroactive, then why don't no white people go to jail for slavery? Why don't no white people go to jail for bank frauds and banking shit or redlining or none of these things that they set up against black people? The prison pipeline, school to prison pipeline. Why these things don't have a human representative that they can go to jail for such behavior? Why is it always the black people go to jail for just being black? Because if P. Diddy could go to jail with $1 billion and I can go to jail with $1, what the fuck is what's the difference? We literally the same people. We have no difference. It don't matter how much money you got. This nigga sitting in a fucking jail cell after being on yachts, mansions, the top fucking room, the biggest presidential fucking room in hotels across the country, different countries. He can get on fucking those skateboard things that skeet across the water and shit. All kind of imaginary things that you couldn't even imagine because you can't afford it. Like he could think of some shit and be like, I want to be by a waterfall. Jump on a plane and go fucking be by a waterfall. Same day. It's not even like you got to call nobody and be like, is it okay if I go to this waterfall? You just jump on a fucking plane and go. So now you from a big ass waterfall because you thought of it and you can fly there in one day to sit in a damn jail cell because some other motherfuckers who you actually knew these people. You paid them. You make sure they have food. You made sure they paid their rent. Now they like, now fuck you. I hate you. And white people pop out and say, y'all hate them. Okay, cool. Jail. There's no way around it. You going your ass to jail. If you're black, you're going to find your ass in that motherfucker some kind of way. They're going to make sure of it. And other cultures don't even have to hide this ideology. This ideal not even in their brain. They fighting about how the fuck become American. How the fuck to be in this bitch. And they outraged of the fact that white people changed up on them. They don't even have a system of going to jail. That's not even something that imaginable. It's like right now they just popped out the woodwork and said if you in America and you was you going to jail. That's just this month. This is like the last 3 years. It's not no fucking decades and centuries of this mindset. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I remember when we was young and they was promoting all over the internet. Well, not was no internet. And they was promoting all over the hip hop world that P. Diddy had dropped out of Howard University. I was a little young, so I was thinking like, we got to go to college. You know, at that time, college was the shit. Obviously, it was no internet, so you had to leave your parents' crib. You took your ass to college, and that was all on TV. So it was no other thought. So you want to go to college. So that's why Kanye West was successful because he had an album called College Dropout, which was odd with the psychology of America. Nobody wanted to be that. So for him to claim that, it was unique. And it was I'm in my 30s by the time he dropped that album. So that mental culture had lasted even to my adulthood. So make a long story short, Diddy conversation at that time was he had dropped out of Howard University, and we was all like, "What? He dropped out? How the fuck he successful? How the fuck he make money?" And then the rumor came about that he was doing an internship with I think Uptown Records or whatever the record company was. He was doing an internship with a dude named Andre Harrell. So it was always like, "Oh wow, okay." So he got it, and then it came down the pipeline again, and he got fired. So we came from he dropped out of Howard University to he was doing an internship at a record company with a guy named Howard or some Andre Harrell, and then he got fired. So then when he got fired, it was all like, he got fired. Now this shit could have been happening way faster because there was no internet. But by the time you hearing it, I'm all the way in Chicago. You hearing about it through hip hop. So then it was like he got fired, and then after he got fired, that's when we heard afterwards he opened up Bad Boy Records. So it was like Bad Boy Records, where Bad Boy was a lexicon thing that came from hip hop because KRS-One had a song. And in that song, he said, "Real bad boys move in silence." So this was like a little thing in hip hop. You know, people said it just like they say shit today, and from hip hop words. So then he opened up Bad Boy Records because it was like, you know, he knew hip hop. He knew that's what everybody was saying. So everybody was like, oh, "Okay, Bad Boy Records, what the fuck?" So you know, it was just something you heard. And then all of a sudden, he dropped, boom, Craig Mack. And then Craig Mack came, and here comes the flavor in your ear. It was like, what the fuck? Oh, that shit was amazing. So we started seeing his trajectory. So this is all the way in 1993, 94. So now you scoot up to this, probably 92, 91 when he was doing the internship, because, you know, he's a little older than me. So as we scooting through the future, now you come all the way to knowing about a person at this time from dropping out of Howard University. I didn't know what the fuck Howard University was. I just knew the words. So then you go to the future and you hear that he in prison for some girlfriends or whatever the fuck he was doing, and it's almost like how, the fuck that happened? Like this old boy who we remember back then, but you know, obviously you heard and I heard how the fuck it happened. They got the shit all over TV about what he supposedly have done to get his ass in prison, and these people claiming these claims about him. But I'm just saying that no matter what his directions was, no matter what his plight was, it's almost like the Twilight Zone. No matter what he chose to do, no matter what how successful he could have become, he was going to jail. This is what I'm trying to complain and say. So as a young man, as a kid, I'm thinking like, okay, I don't want to sell drugs that much because I don't want to go to jail. I ain't gonna keep robbing with my homies and shit because I know that's gonna put me in jail. Or I don't want to be doing this because I'm gonna get on my ass to jail. I'm gonna try to go my ass to school. Whatever I'm thinking in my life to succeed, I'm going off for what the success of people in the media is saying their lives are. So that's what I want to be. I want to be successful. And then today, you see this boy go to prison, and it's like, how the fuck that happened? But we know how it happened because they claim the charges and all that shit. Are they true? Is what we're dealing with today. Is he going to be convicted in a court of law that what they claim was true? Because obviously we don't know. None of us was there. We wasn't there. These people could be 100% lying on him, or they could be 100% telling the truth. We don't know. But we'll see how it play out within the next few days. And y'all can let me know in the comments section what you think. Is his ass going to be deliberated upon the verdict of guilty, or if he going to be deliberated upon of a statement of not guilty? And that's really what you got to let me know, because I don't know. I wonder, is he going to be guilty about it? And I wonder, is he not? You know, you look at a black man going down again, and it's the same 1-2 step. It's always about sex. Anytime they ever had a black man murdered or taken down, it always wrapped back towards sex. I only think maybe 2 or 3 of them was not like that, but most times if they grabbed a guy and they put some kind of heinous crime on him, it was about sex, kissing a girl, whistling at a girl, white girls mostly. But yeah, that's what it would be. But so now for him to go down and these girls ain't black, he ain't with no, he got a Mexican girl, he got a Hispanic girl, he got a white girl. I mean, I think she was Asian, something like that, an Asian girl and a Hispanic girl. So these ain't black women. So it's like he got a fetish for non-black women. So that's his choice. But you see what that leads to. They're not from your culture. They don't really know you. They don't have no connection to you. Maybe can't talk to your mother on the phone. Maybe I don't know what the thing is, but it's no connection. So now it's like there's vendetta. And the girls do that. Girls have vendettas no matter what color they are. You know what I'm saying? If they don't like you or if they get mad at you, they can do that. So this guy dealing with it and with these women is like, no, you did this to me, and I'm making sure your ass go down for it. Coming to court like they came to court, pointing at him in the fucking courtroom like that, and he paying her rent. I'll be in that jail cell like, I don't know, man, I remember that migraine every fucking day. I wouldn't know what to do, man. I wouldn't give up, but I definitely would not be knowing what the fuck to do, man. So y'all let me know what y'all think about that P. Diddy shit, man, because I gave y'all a whole spiel on that. I'm going to holler at y'all about old boy Massie real quick because Antoine Massie, the young brother who I think they say like 32 years old, something like that, he was locked up in Louisiana and he fucked around and broke out with his homies. Now, all the dudes in jail was trying to get out, just like anybody, but they found a way. They had a guy who worked inside the jail. He was like a maintenance man. He was supposed to open the cell or cut the water off to the area where they could climb behind the sink. He did it. Now he worked at the job. This is actually a criminal behavior situation. So obviously he went and said, "Hey, they threatened my life. They threatened my life." But these are white people he telling this to. So white people have a different psychology. So how you gonna say people who we holding in jail, we're holding these motherfuckers against their will? You're gonna say one of them threatened your life? You could have just came and told us. We the ones with the guns. We the ones with the fucking threat. These niggas is locked in a cell, and each one of them would love to go home, but they can't because I said they can't. So, what the hell you mean you was threatened by your life? But since he couldn't explain the fact that that was some bullshit, that he really was not threatened by his life, that he just made a mistake and let them people out of jail, now his ass got a fucking case on his back. And them people ain't playing. And you already know that. So they gave him a crime. They gave everybody who was involved with this shit a crime. And that's bad because you sitting back and you was free. And now all of a sudden you got to walk your ass around and shit dealing with a fucking case. I mean, 13 people got arrested just for being associated with the niggas who broke out. So that means if you was just on the phone with him and you was like, "Hey, I'm glad you out. I hope you get free. I hope you stay free." They locked your ass up. And they be like, "What the fuck you locking me up?" I just told them I'm happy for him. And they like, "Yeah, well, you supposed to called us and you supposed to make sure that that motherfucker got locked up, but you was stupid. You sat there and was friends with that nigga and told it was okay. You was all right with him being on the run. So we ain't with that shit." And now you sitting back like, fuck, man. Because imagine this. Them niggas is going to tell on you, too. Imagine you going to jail and these niggas tell on you. They'll go back and tell the police, "How'd you find out?" "My auntie, she answered the phone." "What auntie?" "She on 53rd, 29, South May." You like, "How the fuck would you tell on me?" "Well, I called her early and then I called her the afternoon and then she told me." And they tricking on them because they know they finna go down. They know they gone and they captured. So it's over. So that's why I said, man, I just really wish that were boy and them was using their brain. But you know, it's kind of rough, man, when you make a decision like that to run when you in jail. All them police taking pictures with him and shit, trying to be in the photos and make. Cause this is how you become a lieutenant. This is how you become a captain. This is how you really be successful when you could get your boy locked up and then they come behind that shit and see, oh, you was a part of that crime when old boy broke out of jail. You helped him. You was arresting him. You were like arresting him. Here, I got pictures of him right now. "Oh shit, that is you. Okay, cool. Okay, so you was on your game. How did y'all capture him?" "Oh, we went and boom, boom." This is how your job increased. They look at you like a real soldier when you can go catch somebody like him. So the ones who was at that SWAT moment right there, this is like a hunt for this dude. You know what I'm saying? And then, like I said, in some towns, like where we live in the city, they might be like, "Oh, we're hunting for this guy. If anybody sees him, please call the 900 line. And we got to make sure we find him. He's a threat." But down in them southern towns, like in Louisiana or way deep in the south where the swamps at, they probably telling their ass, "Look, if you see this motherfucker, capture him dead or alive. If you catch him down through here, you know what to do. It's one sheriff and it's two damn deputies. We not finna fucking play with this motherfucker." So they know not to run down into them they deep areas in the south where they from. They know not to go down up in them spots because them white people is not gonna be friendly. And it's alligators and shit there. Feed your ass to the alligator. So it's like one guy who's still not found. So they had 10 dudes break out and now I'm catching Massie, 9 of them locked up. But the 10th dude, he ain't made no messages. He ain't put no photos out there, no videos. He must got somebody who crib. He was like, "Man, let me get up in that basement. I'm gonna be posted. Don't you ain't gotta say shit. Don't do shit. Let me stay down there like 2 years. Cause otherwise, where the fuck the nigga at? Cause otherwise, that's what I'm saying. People will see you and know that you on the run. They'll kill you. They'll just murder you because you on the run. It's like anybody, you basically on a lamb. You got no help, no connections. So that means any random person could just shoot you and kill you, and they will not be criminalized for it. They'll say, "What happened? I think that's the guy, and I shot him because I couldn't catch him." And you'll be like, "What?" "Yeah, because you on the run." So the police say, any kind of way you get him, get him. You know what I'm saying? They feel like, and they hold the whole country. You notice how Massie was gone, or those 10 dudes was gone, and the whole country focused on Louisiana. Nobody turned their eyes. It was locked in on them. And so now that they captured this nigga, they took his ass to motherfucking Angola. Angola prison. That's one of the worst motherfucking prisons in American history. Not just American, American history. Since they built prisons down in fucking Louisiana. 6,000 inmates in this bitch. And they got that plantation style where the motherfucker standing riding around on a horse and you got the 5 or 6 inmates standing there behind him and they all in the chain and shit. The chain gang is real serious business. Plus, imagine working outside when you got to go work outside at the fucking prison and it's 99 degrees, no fucking cover up. You locked up. They got your ass out there picking some shit or building a fucking hole and you in this bitch burning to death. Like, man, I need some water. Get up, inmate 42609. Get your ass up off that hill and keep working. And you like, nigga, I'm gonna be back inside. I can't do this shit. They probably even got no AC inside the jail. They might do, nigga might need it, because otherwise motherfuckers be dead, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy how dude did that move, and then you see his family, they was all on TV, baby, turn yourself in, turn yourself in. I can't believe. But if you knew his story, man, when I heard the kid's story, I was like, wow, that shit's something else, man. And really quickly, his mother was in jail for majority of his fucking life. His mom, she got locked up. She was in her young years when she got locked up. He probably was 4, 5 years old when she got locked up. I think they said she was like 27 and she had some nephews, not cousins. They was like 19, 18. So she in the streets. His mother's a hustler. She's selling dope. While she's selling dope, she get robbed in her neighborhood by a crackhead looking nigga. So she ride to the house and she said, hey, I got robbed. Well, her little cousin them, they trying to get off the porch. So they like, what's up? Where you at? They 19, 18. They ride around to the dude. There you go. They pop out. But since they so young and quick at it, they shoot the nigga and kill him. Police swoop, whoop, grab everybody. So the father of the kids come down to the police station like, look, these my sons. They going to college. They about to be somebody. This is their big cousin. She's a bum bitch. She been out here fucking around and being on some dumb shit since this is a family member. I'm telling you, she's on goofy shit. So don't put my sons down for the shit that she put them in. So she go holler at the police go holler at her and say, your little cousin is fit to go to jail for life for this murder unless you take this crime. So the mama had to take the crime. So they gave her 15 years. So she did 15 years. And then she came home in like 2023, 2022. So really last 4 or 5 years she been home. So this is mama. So now you growing up under your auntie, your family members, and you running the streets. They watching you, but shit, you ain't got no OG, so you in the streets kicking it, getting the fuck around, running the streets like anybody else. And then you get caught up in some real shit, caught up in some dumb shit. So he going to jail as a juvie, he going to jail as an adult. So finally, he get locked up a few times, and now he get locked up as a grown man. But when he get locked up as a grown man, he get locked up for smacking a girl around. And that's why the nigga on the run. He's putting hands on a broad. By putting hands on a broad, that make you susceptible in jail. By putting hands on a broad, so now you got the police on your heels. Plus he choked her. He choked out. This is what he actually said. He said, I choked her. The crime that he's accused of is choking her. So it's like he did all that shit trying to help himself, but it just didn't work out. And that's all allegedly. So don't let me sit up here and try to put no words into the kid mouth because I wasn't there. And I don't know nothing about him except when I'm hearing through the internet. But I do know one thing. They caught him. They snatched him up off the streets. He was at somebody's crib, and it was apparently some kind of Airbnb he was at. This particular Airbnb is owned by some lady, but this lady who owned the Airbnb, she don't live there. She got another tenant that lives there, but she don't live there, so she rarely go by there. She just get the money from her Airbnb, and so she hear that her homie called her and say, "Yo, some dad at your crib," but the police Talking about some dude was in one of your Airbnb. So she ride over there, but she don't see nobody. The police gone, he gone, and all the people there's the news. So they all in her face like, what happened? What happened? She like, I don't know what the fuck just happened. I just came. But it's her Airbnb. So the question is, how did he get in there? How did he gain access to it? Who knew about the Airbnb being empty? And then that's how he got in there. But I don't know if they're gonna investigate that deep because they sure picked his ass up and yanked it. And they was like, the place is only a couple of miles from the motherfucking jail. Like that's how small the city is, and that's how escape is. You know, they don't be going in private citizens' houses in America. But had they went door to door, they probably would have found his ass weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? Or days ago. Like at least saying, hey, we coming to everybody crib. It don't matter who you are. It don't matter what the fuck you thinking. We coming to find this motherfucker. But they don't do that in America. Privacy rules and all kind of laws and shit. So it's like they don't come door to door, kicking in doors, trying to make sure they get a motherfucker out of the crib because of what the fuck they did. They don't do that. They let a person do what the fuck they want to do, and then they ride down on them with the Johnny Hawks, and then they take them down. So it looked like that's what's going to happen with Massie. He gonna be gone for a long time because I can't see him getting out. I can't see him getting out, and unless white people go down there and interview him and shit. Because people want to know what the hell it was like to be on a lam from the police for 6 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever, and longer was. It was a nice little stretch of time. But he got popped off because they hit him over the head with the world rather. They said $70,000 what they call that shit, bounty or whatever, reward. So if you knew him, he probably wasn't hearing about that reward too tough because he on the run unless he got a phone all the time. He ain't hearing about that shit. So anybody could probably trick him and be like, nigga, I got a spot, just post up right here. And then he goes set his ass up in there, and then they go set him there for a day or two. He don't leave, and they call the police and be like, yo, he over here. You know, who can you trust if you running from the police? You probably can't even trust your own mama or your girlfriend because people are people, and not even just money going to stop them, but the threat of going their ass to jail. They was the guys who went on the limb, the guys who ran. Obviously, they was calling their family members and people who they knew. White folks was corresponding all them phone calls. All them times people was calling. They was like, okay, got your ass. Okay, he came here back. You answered the phone. Got you. They say locked up like between 13 and 16 people who corroborated and helped those dudes when they was breaking out of jail. That's a lot of motherfuckers that got locked up just because they know you, just because you knew them. That ain't nothing to fuck with. That'll make me mad as hell if I answered the phone and then this nigga got me locked up and you talking about 3 to 5s for aiding and abetting an escaped convict, and you ain't got no money. So that means grandmamas, aunties, friends, sisters, they putting you in jail and you cannot bond out. Think about that. You sitting back for real because that motherfucker, he gone. And you don't know what he gonna say because they caught his ass. But now you sitting down too. And you're in this motherfucking ass like you had to go to work that next week. Your career might be gone now. Your whole life just went topsy-turvy. This is a fact because you can't afford no lawyer. And if you get the public defender, he gonna take his time. So now you sitting in jail. And if they do give you a bond and you got some money or some family members that's gonna let you out, that's not gonna stop the conviction. And the conviction gonna be coming back with a verdict of guilty and you still gotta go sit down. And they be like, yeah, we giving you 3 years, we giving you 2 years. That don't mean that these people was even wrong for speaking to their family. It's just that white people got rules and they got regulations and then they got the cell phone tapping and all that shit now. So they can corroborate time frames and schedules and say, you did answer the phone at this time. Even if you renege and say it wasn't me. I didn't do, they have all these things that they can do to capture the information and now you still guilty of the crime when he was going to go to jail and be in jail for life anyway. Because they would probably get his kid life if they could. But whatever, how long his time is for the crimes he is to be convicted of, then you got to deal with the crimes of what this escape is. That's gonna be a nice little sketch, nice little stretch. He gonna probably do 20 something years, and that's a long ass time to be sitting in that box. But escaping, and then they caught the other guys, so that mean they're about to scoot everybody to different prisons around the state. And nobody gonna be sitting around each other. They ain't gonna be able to correspond and talk about that shit again. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say that guy who was like, Oh, they threatened my life. They not finna believe that. That's white supremacy, boy. Ain't nobody threatening none of us. And if you work for us, you one of us. So that meant you was rocking with them. If you couldn't understand that, if that didn't register in your brain, then that means you working with them. So you going your ass to jail too. $500,000 bond. You think he got 50 bands that are gonna bond out? No. So that meant any type of cooperation with them niggas, you just fucked yourself. It don't matter how you looked at it, whether you answered the phone, whether you did a three-way phone call, however you did any connection. And now all of a sudden they swoop right back around and grab everybody. And dude then was going to jail, so you might as well not even answer the fucking phone. But obviously it's gonna be exciting to hear your family member out of jail and they calling your number and it's like, hello? Hey man, what the fuck going on? And the police were listening to that shit. Running it back. Remember when you said this? You want them to stay free. Fuck the police. Remember you said that? Yeah, I was excited. I was just excited. I didn't mean it like that. Yeah, we heard you now, but that's what you said. We felt like that kept him motivated to stay on the run. You like, God damn. I can't believe I answered that damn call. Yep, because that's what's going on right now. They locking up everybody who was a part of knowing him. The people who they called, the people who their sisters, the people who dropped them off somewhere. Because a lot of people went to jail just for picking them up and dropping them off. Maybe giving them a few dollars. That's how crazy their ass was. They rolled down there and picked them niggas up wherever they called from and say, yo, I'm over here to thing, and they jumped in their car and they swooped down there. And however the popos ran into it, but you know how they niggas. How you think the police found out? Because when they arrested them niggas, they asked them, how the fuck did you do it when you was free? And they told them, oh, my cousin answered the phone, my sister called. When I called, she came down there, she brought her friend. Imagine that shit. They telling on you in a no snitch time frame. Yeah, niggas tricking. They locking this. Yeah, you for the fact, Steve O. Stoner, that's real white supremacy. They making sure that they trick on each other. Because they going to get them and take them motherfuckers right back to jail. And then they going to say, how the fuck did you get out and what did you do? And they going to tell. And they going to say, I got out and then I called auntie and then she picked me up. And then my nephew came, he brought me something to eat. And then the white people ain't going to go back to their crib and say, I thought you said you didn't speak to him. I didn't. Well, we got him on record saying that you brought him some food. And you a regular person at your house. You ain't finna hold steady when they finna put your ass in jail. You gonna be like, okay, I bought them some food, but I didn't know it was a crime. Blah, blah, blah. And you already know how that's gonna play out. So it's crazy. Yup. That's what they're gonna do. So, but but see again, that's why I don't only the divide and conquer, the oldest strategy. You're right. That's why I don't understand why them guys, when they broke out, they didn't keep it all 100 like they gangsters. You know how everybody's so gangster and tough. Why would you call your vulnerable cousin? Why would you call your vulnerable sister, your vulnerable auntie? You know they ain't got no money. You know they can't get out. But you're gonna break your stupid ass out of jail and then pick the phone up and call them. The people who you've been calling since you've been locked up. They all on your fucking phone call logs. And then all the white man got to do is just run back in the logs and say, okay, cool, this address, this phone number, go over there. You know what I'm saying? And then that's really to scare these niggas who escape. If they locking up your granny, if they locking up your little sister, nigga, that's supposed to scare you to be like, hey, wait. Let me get my ass back in here, man. I shouldn't be doing this because I don't need them to be like, that's my family. They ain't criminals. You know what I'm saying? But motherfuckers don't be thinking like that. Yup. They realized they needed money up. Reality kick, yeah. Because imagine, that's what I was saying a minute ago. Imagine taking your ass out to the woods in Louisiana where they got the swamps, where they got them old white motherfuckers with them boats with the big ass fan on the back of them bitches. They out there with the anacondas and the fucking snakes and the big ass water moccasins and shit. And your ass out there talking about some, you gonna stay out there. You from motherfucking Ninth Ward and shit. You know what I'm saying? Living in the motherfucking city your whole motherfucking life. You know what I'm saying? All y'all did is get drunk, get high, and went to the club. And now you think you gonna take your ass out there with your pants sagging and shit and some old Jordans somebody gave you, and you gonna be out in the motherfucking woods. Soon as the first white motherfucker see your ass with tattoos on your face and dreadlocks, he gonna shoot your ass from a distance. Like, I don't give a fuck who that nigga is. He ain't supposed to be out here. Then after he pop the shit out you, they gonna say, that's 'cause escaped the convict Antoine Massie. You like, goddamn. Well, just say you meant to do it, Johnny. Don't even worry about it. You know, 'cause they just looking at you like, what the fuck you doing out here? You can't run out there. You ain't been building fires and shit, motherfucker. Yep. Then we sure did. But you see what happened, Steve O. Stoner. He said black folks had them to use those same swamps when they escaped slavery. He said they still there do swamp tours today and highlight those events. But look, you can understand the white supremacy now. Because where do they got all the black people living in America? How many of us live by swamps? They built big ass city metropolises for us, so we would make sure you don't never be up in the woods and trees where you motherfuckers can escape and go goddamn it build a whole maroon type motherfucking culture. No, y'all gonna be in the cities. We're gonna cut the trees down so we can see exactly how your ass look. And so when you step out on your porch, we got cameras on the pole. There you go right there. But you know, you go in a white neighborhood, there's bushes and trees blocking the front door. You can't even see them white people when you ride down the damn block. But in our hoods, nigga, ain't nothing blocking your front door, no trees, no nothing. Ain't no bushes, ain't no you niggas is barely cutting their own grass. Now how the fuck you gonna go out there and be in a damn swamp because you escaped jail? So no way. You know what I'm saying? So I know that he was out of there and he wanted to go back in. I know he did. I know for a fact he did. Because out here, they force you to need money. They force you to need money out here. So you could be out here as long as you want to. But as soon as you can imagine being around your homies and shit and everybody know you escaped, but you still been fucking with them, them your people. So you with them. They like, man, we're going to the club. Come on, nigga, fuck that. Police ain't gonna get on you. And then you get down to the door at the club and they be like, man, hey Joe, pay for me, man. You know I escaped and shit. Like, man, your broke ass nigga, man, damn, nigga, you need to have your motherfucking ass back in there on your commissary, nigga. I'm paying for you to get in the motherfucking club. Nigga, well, I know you ain't tripping. You told me to come, motherfucker. You know I ain't got no damn money. I just escaped the fucking jail. Well, I gotta buy your bitch ass drinks in this motherfucker too, die, nigga? Damn, man. Fuck it, man. Come on, I'll let you in this bitch. Now you feeling all fucked up and shit. Like, man, I don't even want to be in this motherfucking club. Nigga, I can't buy no bitches, no drinks or something. I can't even be around these niggas no more. You won't even be able to hang with your homies. You can't come around these niggas that no escape prisoner and shit. Like, yeah, nigga, what y'all on, boy? I know y'all kicking up for the be up in there. Like, hold the fuck on, nigga. What you mean you coming up and you gonna have the whole motherfucking city up in this bitch? You can't come over here and kick it. Like, fuck that, nigga. It's me. It's me. Nigga, you can't come around the homies no more. It's over. You basically escaped out of jail and you gotta have a whole new life. You can't pop your ass out nowhere. So that's why I say it's gonna be crazy for that nigga. Yup. My nigga, I see you over there, Stone the Stizzle. Yup. But hey, we got to see how it play out. Ain't no telling. Massie gone now. He popped off. He need to be popped off because they wasn't the smartest bunch of niggas, man. When you break out of jail, that's probably the first time in American history where 10 niggas broke out at the same time. Anytime you hear about jail, anytime you hear about movies, there be 2 or 3 guys. There don't be no 10 motherfucking niggas breaking out of jail. Come on, man. But I can see the excitement of knowing there's a hole to run out. But if it would have been 200 niggas breaking out of jail, that would have been different. But them niggas didn't do that because they know when you get on the outside, you on your own. Ain't nobody finna help you. Ain't nobody finna, what they call that, harbor your motherfucking ass. That's it. That's putting their life in jeopardy. If you got kids and a wife and a life, you ain't thinking about no nigga who wanted, and then he ain't even in jail for no noble shit. Like you ain't fighting against supremacy, nigga. You smacking your girl and choking her down. What the fuck, nigga? That's nobody finna come to your aid on that and be like, I got you, nigga. Hey, old girl was wrong what she did. No, you gonna have to handle that on your own. Then you choking her out. That means you wouldn't leave the crib. If by the time you put your hands on her throat, that means you just would not leave because you could have just dipped out. Most times when you get a certain age, you realize that's the best way to hurt a chick. You just leave. But most times you mentally can't leave because you trapped inside the relationship struggle or whatever y'all dealing with. That leaving is out the question. You ain't got the power yet. But when you get the power to just get up and dip, then you start seeing how much powerful that is because choking her ass gonna get the most powerful motherfuckers choking your ass. Now you sit up there to myself, I want Young Boy, I want Lil Wayne to give me a lawyer. What? What about the other niggas in jail who did more different kind of crimes than you? They don't need lawyers and shit. Just you, cause you smacked your girl and shit. Man, get your dumb ass out of here. That was dumb talk. That's why they searching for him. Like you actually a dummy. What are you talking about? You don't even smack no bitch around and then won't fuck her solace, nigga. You gotta grow up past that part. But this also is growing up part. You gotta sit your ass in here for what the fuck you did. That's how they set America up. They don't have to do the crime and do the time. But since you black, you do. So that should teach your ass, don't do the fucking crime because if unless you got time to spend, but obviously he do. He 32. He got a quick dub to spend. He ain't got shit to do out. What the fuck else he doing? You got 20 to get these motherfuckers, and they know you do. And they gonna probably put a 9 ball on top of the 20 because you escaped. They gonna put a 9 piece on top of the 20 just because they escaped. Instant Twinkie with a 9 ball on top. And you sit in that bitch till you, what, 59? What the fuck? That's dumb. That's dumb. That's why I say they gonna pop you because you ain't using your brain. They gonna take you away from the population because you ain't thinking. This you start catching on. It's not even about your crime, because these motherfuckers do crimes all day, every day. It's about thinking. You can't even do your crime without being loud with it. It's like Diddy. He did his crime, but he ain't use no black women. He don't even fuck with black girls. So that's why he in prison. That's why he deal with that. Because who is dominant in this country? Non-black people. So there you go. You fucked with one of them. You went over there and they trapped your ass. It's like, if you look at it, it's almost like little ants. If you ever seen a pile of ants and shit, right? And if you just zoom in with your eyes on them pile of ants, you might see another little bug that got trapped inside the ants. They don't be walking around that motherfucker. They devour that motherfucker. They suppress that bitch. They overtake it. You look down there and it be a lump. And sometimes you can't even see what the fuck it was. Like, was that a fly? Was that some gum? Like, what the fuck them flies eating? What the fuck them ants eating? This is what the fuck Diddy and them did. You basically go inside the trap of the white folks where there's so many of them, millions of them, where they don't like you. They'll overpower you. They'll overtake you. And then you go right up in there, and then you ain't even nice with it. You ain't over there friendly, doing good shit. You up here, nothing on the hoes, treating them bogus, choking them out, smacking them in the club, like just doing outrageous shit on camera. On camera. And then here go your results, and we supposed to have a heart for you. Oh my God, poor little him. What, nigga? It's so many black women you could have took that money and gave to them and built shit for black people. They brains be, it's the brain, bro. I'm telling you. You got $1 billion and you using it to freak out for bitches with fucking oil. What the fuck you talking about? Where's the grocery stores in all of the black communities? Where's the clinic in all the black communities? Physical standing there. Where's the product in all of the Walmarts and Target? Because you got the money to build the product and put it there. Don't give a fuck if it's a pair of socks. But they brain don't think that. So it's like, oh yeah, I got all this money. I want more Fiatis. I want my teeth diamond out. I want my hair with fucking crickles in it. And how much is that? 82 million? Give me that shit. Look at all you motherfuckers. I got crickly hair and diamond teeth. They brain don't think that. White people get this shit. They build fucking high rises downtown, in your state, in your city. $1 billion mean it's 42 floors in this bitch. Half this motherfucker penthouses, half this bitch a hotel. That's what they do with their money. They don't be sitting around talking about some, yeah, boy, I just flew this motherfucking flight. What they call them, jets, and it's $20,000 to fill a plane. This why they going to jail, because you ain't using the money for nothing. What the fuck are you using the money for? You could build something in every single state that black people can go and utilize. You have that power. But for them, richness means how much stuff can I buy from white people? So you got to invent it, white folks, and then I'm going to go buy it, and that shows my opulence. What they got? A Tesla is bulletproof? Give me 5 of them. Give me 3. I want 3 of them riding around. Look at us, poor shit. What the fuck that do? Big damn deal. We made more white people rich. So basically, you being rich mean more white people get rich. So it's a cycle that we ain't in, that no black people get to be a part of. Other cultures don't think like that. When they get rich, they set up something so other people get rich. They'll even call it some shit like the Italian Foundation of Internet. They even call it names. It ain't even like they keeping it secretive. The Fidelity Foundation of, yeah, they don't give a fuck how you feel about it. It's right here. But you can't get shit from it. You ain't in that culture. You can't write no letter. You can't come and say, present some dumb shit when you got a suit on talking like them. Get the fuck out of here. They gonna tell you like any other person in business, go talk to your billionaires and see what they gonna do. And Diddy and them like, nigga, if you ain't bringing no motherfucking baby oil, don't even pop in this bitch. Don't even come over here. And you sitting back like, what the fuck do, I don't even know what the fuck that do. What is that? Why do they even care about that? They brains ain't, you pay attention, you'll notice that white people give the money to the dummies. White people give the money to the dummies. Pay attention. Pay attention to it. It's not even like far-fetched. If you pay attention, white people give the money to the dummies. A person like Oprah Winfrey who got $1 billion but don't have a baby. Well, who the fuck are you gonna leave the money to? This bitch got dogs. Why? Because her white neighbors got dogs. So when they leave to go out of the country or out the town, they go leave all their dogs at Oprah house. She feels empowered. She feel like she helping. She don't want to fucking have no babies. That makes her feel connected. I'm in this. I got 13 dogs at my house because my neighbors had to leave town, and my mansion can hold them. That's not thinking about shit, but that's what she feel like. And I'm not dissing her. It's her life. She can live the life she want to. But why you don't have an offspring? Why you don't have no lineage? Because they want their lineage to be inside white history, white culture, white knowledge, white acknowledgement. And that right there is the wealth. Nothing else matters but that. So I'm gonna move on from this and I'm gonna talk about Trump and the birther situation. So we got the birther situation that popped off because a lot of people come to America and they've been coming to America for 50 some years, obviously, because they've been utilizing the idea that if you're born in this country, then you're American. So that has been debunked by Trump, which is really shocking to a lot of people because a lot of people was offered the idea that none of this could happen because the history of America, none of this actually showcased to them that white people would stop you from being American because you was from another country or your parents wasn't born here and shit like that. That's like not the way America worked. But now with Trump in, he switched up the game, and then he got the Supreme Court to hold him down and basically support him when he says that you can't be from another country and call yourself American if you was born here or not. So people really kind of confused. There's a lot of shit going on like this. But the reality of it is that he claimed Trump saying that the birther situation is all because of the slaves back in the day. The slaves that came to America after they were let free. The whole thing was to let their kids become Americans. So if you was a slave at one point, you wasn't even American. You wasn't even a human. So now they saying if you was a slave at that point, they saying now that you are an American. So that's why we're American. Us black people today, we're considered American because our parents and great grandparents were slaves. So they said, Trump said that at that time, that was the law. He said they put the law in on the same day. So that lets you know that these crimes was all connected to that time, that the law was connected to that same time. So he said that now that the people been coming to America over these decades, 50 something years, and they've been abusing that. They've been over here basically on some, no, I'm American. Because now that I'm in America and I was born here and my parents is here, that we could actually become American, especially if they got the citizenship and all that. Well, maybe it was okay for at a point, but now he's saying they're abusing it. The abuse is making them change the laws and change the dynamics of America, and that's got a lot of people fucking freaking the fuck out because they looking at it like you changing things up. I'm American, like like, and see the thing is about as black people, we know that white people do the switcheroo. We not dumb. We've seen it hundreds of years. But the other lady, and they actually believe that when white people say what they're gonna do and say it, that they believe it. So not saying that they don't will come through with some of the shit, but technically they're not to be trusted like that, especially on that level, the governmental type motherfuckers. But as long as these other cultures were succeeding in their mind and it's succeeding past black people, they never really put no antennas up. So we couldn't tell them because they looking at us like, yeah, you dumbass niggas, y'all bums, y'all not on shit. We work here. My parents been here for 40 years. I was born here. My parents came to here in the 30s and the 20s, and they came here and they opened businesses and they've been successful. And they looking at our ass like, y'all bums. Y'all been in America all this time, and that's all the fuck y'all do is complain. That's all y'all do is don't get no money. I don't want to hear shit black people got to say. And you sitting around like, where the fuck this come from? But the people have this psychology because they don't know the history. They didn't have to come to America and fight in the 40s and the 50s and the 70s and the 1800s and the 1600s. That's not even something they could imagine. They just popped in this bitch. TV was already on. You watch the news. You get a job somewhere. You go to work. But these things make a person lose their understanding. So now they believe that they're supposed to be in America and that these things are supposed to happen to them. And us as black people supposed to be overlooked and supposed to be pushed to the side because they finally got their opportunity away from their homeland country. But we understood it that things can change, in which they did. So people outraged at black people. Like, what the hell? Y'all not gonna march with us? Y'all not gonna fight with us? We rock with y'all with this. We fought with y'all with that. Well, you disrespectful too. You disrespectful to us for the last 40, 50 years. We know the culture of America. We've been here for centuries. But you come here and you get jobs under white people, you get to move around them. You might even get to call yourself that shit on the census paper. But now you're looking down on black people? How the fuck that even happen? Like, what, where could this even be coming from? But the reality of it is the wake up call. In the black culture, we call it the nigga wake up call. So you could just put whatever culture in front of it and say the wake up call because that's what they got. So now he's not stopping at, hey, we just gonna grab the ICE immigrants or we just gonna grab them. Now he moving saying even you becoming a citizen is a fucking rule that they ain't trying to even abide by because it was used falsely off of the slave law that came back in the day. Where people looking at it like slave law, what the fuck you talking about? Wasn't it slavery back in the fucking 16? What are you talking about? 18? What? Huh? So that's the rules. That's how you got to be in America. That's what they said. That's how they throwing it back at you since you wanted to make it to America. So it's funny to watch everybody go through oppression when they made fun of ours and benefited from it. Yeah, that's exactly it. That's exactly what this whole segment is. Just what Steve O. Stoner said. You benefited from the oppression. So now you're the oppressed. Now you're being hunted down by a thing called the ICE raids and the ICE police. And we're supposed to understand. We're supposed to sit back and come with you and say, hold on, wait a minute. I've even seen black people come out and say, we're going to be next. Where the fuck we going? Where they going to kick black people off to? They're going to make us go down to the lakefront, get on another boat, and then go on the other side of the water. Well, nigga, where the fuck we going to go? We ain't got no homeland, nigga. We are in our home. We were in this motherfucker. You seen the Olmec goddamn statues? We was already here. They noses look like mine. You understand what I'm saying? Don't nobody got a George Clooney nose on the Olmec statues. So don't even come play with us talking about some where the hell we gonna go. We ain't got nothing to do with that. Your master who you voted for made a decision. Now what he did and why he did it, that's between y'all. You got to do it, figure that out because we have nothing to do with that. You had the job. You was the first one in your family to get the education. You was the first one in your family to be a pilot or whatever you became. Now you got to be the first one in your family to deal with the oppression that come from America, and you could pass that down to your kids. And maybe there'll be some kids that might fight or become a Martin Luther King type for your type of culture y'all in. But we're not going to sit up here and have no heart for you and wonder why and see what you're doing. We're going to sit back and be entertained and sit back and see what's going on and be like, wow, did you see that Tuesday? It's going to be Monday morning a water cooler conversation because it's not going to be something that we think of as something that should make us have a care. You didn't care about us. You don't care about black people. You've never cared about black situations. And now that is this situation is just reciprocation. It's just basically the same thing you put out coming back. And it's not funny and it don't feel good. And we can see that and we understand it. But we understood also that you couldn't see our plight. You couldn't see our pain. You couldn't see our, disillusionment. You couldn't see us being disconnected. You only saw your own. And that's cool. Like, what can you say? We got to eat all the burgers. We got to eat all the chicken wings. We can't walk away and leave some on the table. We looked at it and we understand. However, it's unfortunate. It's not right, and they should do something to fix it, or they should do something to get it right. But that means you guys gonna probably have to become those kind of mayoral people or senatorial people that get in those offices and do stuff. And then you got to start being more open to the other cultures, like the black race, and see things from our plight. If you want to get voted in, if you wanted to be somebody who make a standard or set a standard in the world, then you got to accept us as people who what we've been through in the same country. And most of these people don't even speak the language of American. They don't even want to speak the language. So they already threw everything and the kitchen sink at the black folks in America. We not scared. That's a fact. We put our hands up. Steve O'Stoner just said that. We put our hands up and be ready to get it in. And we just take it how it come. If it's not perfect, then it ain't perfect. But we're not going to run and we ain't going to be afraid. Black people been standing tall in America fighting against all kind of oppression for hundreds of years. And a lot of us not knowing that are afraid. But you should get Steve O'Stoner. You see his name right there. He got an album called Revolutionary Stoner. And it's amazing. And it'll give you some insight on the plight of America from a generational standpoint. And you need to hear that kind of music if you come into this channel because you can understand that when I do these videos, where my standpoint is coming from. It's coming from a black standpoint because we already know it's a lot of black people that are really knowledgeable about the plight of black folks. And my wife my wife says something all the time. She says, they're black explainers. She's like, they're great explainers. Like a black person can explain to you anything that's going on with black people. She said, but we're not black solutioners. We don't have the solution. We don't have the way to fix it. We know about it. We can explain to you what's going on in the culture, what we experience, and the history of it and everything. But we don't necessarily have the actual tangible thing to make it fix or work. Even if we did, how would we implement it? Who will we help? Who will we get on board with us? That's the problem. So things stay the same more than they change. You know what I'm saying? So when you see these other cultures going through these stuff that they dealing with America and with the Trump, with immigration and the ICE, it's like to me, it's like good TV. It's like really good entertainment because we have always been the people who was under the scrutiny. Only time I've ever experienced people in America switch up their scrutiny on black folks, even for just a minute, was 9/11. When I saw that happen, and then they was all on TV, they switched out from being they hate black people to start being like they hated people from overseas, and it was real crazy. But that switched out. It went right back to normal. It's almost like default. It was over there for a second, and then it went back to default. I don't know if they hit a button or they just said, okay, that's enough. Now we go back to default, and it's been sustained. So after 9/11, let's say that last 2 years, let's say 2013, they was back on it, and now it's today, 2013 to today. It ain't changed. It's been the same. Black folks ain't shit, and that's what it's been. So now when you got other cultures here, and they can play along with that, or act shitty when you come to their jobs, or when you come to their cultures or their places of business, and now they want to be a little minor or mini white supremacist, and it's like, where's this coming from? You know what I'm saying? I thought I came over here to support y'all, and they just acting weird and shit. Like, I had a Mexican dude acting like that yesterday at the what's that shit? The place you get your oil change, but there's a black location. It's been always black motherfuckers there every time I went. This time I went, it's a Mexican dude. It's the manager, and he started acting all finicky because it was hot as a bitch yesterday. So I didn't want to sit in their little office. I was kind of standing outside by the air, and he like, hey man, we want you to stand in there. I said, I ain't standing in there, nigga. It's too fucking hot. So he just started having a little weird attitude, but he ain't say nothing foul. He just started trying to be slow when it's time for me to pay all this goofy shit. But I let it play out because I was like, unfortunately, in our culture, if I'd have snapped on this bitch ass, like something really wanted me to be like, hey, goofy ass, get your bitch ass over here so I don't have to wait for you. I really wanted to flash, but I was like, you don't let this goofy ass nigga play with you, man. He's a fucking goofy. He got to be stuck in this goofy ass job. Let this bitch ass nigga suffer right here. Get on with your life. So I didn't say shit to the nigga. I just went on with my bed. But I kept saying to myself, why the fuck they hired them motherfuckers to come over here and act like because he managing two niggas that every nigga who walk in here got to listen to him? What the fuck is wrong with this little lame ass nigga? But I ain't let it bother me because again, he's a minion. It don't really bother me to that extent. But it was on my mind, and I was saying to myself like, they don't come to our culture with a friendly thought or a service mindset. Like what he basically did is like, I'm at the register and it's time for me to pay. So now he's talking to the person who came in after me, and he's trying to finish her up. Okay, this your job. I don't know. Maybe you like to do two at one. I don't know. But if you see him at the fucking register, you at least supposed to be like, I'll be right with you, sir. But he ain't saying shit. He just like talking to the bitch who came in. And someone to be, hey, dude, you keep playing with me, motherfucker. I will sit out front of this bitch and fuck your day up out here every goddamn day. You call the police, you bitch. Don't play with me, nigga. But I said, don't do that. You can't let people pull you out your body because they being goofies. Trap this bitch ass nigga at this job. You can trap him here. You have power. That every day this goofy got to sit in this motherfucker and be hot in a bitch fucking fixing oil, and you get to go on with your life, and you have to sometimes come to that thought. And I said, let me just ride out and don't let a lame pull me into that. But it just made me mad. Like, damn, why I'm coming to a black establishment down the street from my motherfucking crib, and I got to be dealing with some goofy motherfucker with some hostile personality who ain't even black. But I knew if I had japped on this bitch ass, I said every nigga in here be like, calm down, leave him alone, man. Hey, that man, chill, man. I said these other cultures don't do that. If I'm in a white motherfucking establishment and they acting an ass on me, ain't no white motherfucker gonna walk up and be like, man, don't treat him like that, man. I seen him coming here, chilling it out. They don't all sit back watching that shit like, wow. Ain't nobody finna say a fucking word. So I said, if I say something to this bitch ass nigga, all the niggas gonna come to me and be like, hey man, you might as well leave, bro. Cause we're, and protect his pussy ass. Act like I shouldn't have a feeling about how this motherfucker acting. And that's the problem. So my whole experience with this bitch ass nigga, I ain't supposed to say shit. I'm supposed to act like it's okay because as long as I'm paying you fucking money, hoe ass nigga. I want accommodation. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't give a fuck what your punk ass motherfucking relationship or culture is, nigga. If I'm paying a hunky ass money, then that's what the fuck you represent them. Nigga, you ain't the fucking owner of this motherfucking company. If I was coming to pay you, bitch, I wouldn't come to your fucking company. I'm coming to pay them, nigga. Jiffy Lube is them. It's not you. Get it through your fucking head, nigga. I don't have to fucking listen to shit your bitch ass saying. But I let it go. I said, don't let a pussy pull you out your body. Trap that bitch ass nigga right in this business. And then don't come back over here to that fuck boy ain't in this business no more. That's my choice. Because I don't have to put up with your fucking ass, motherfucker. But now they get to feel the run. They get to feel that uncomfort when a motherfucker pull up. Now let them same niggas at that Jiffy Lube tell ICE not to arrest his bitch ass. Let them be like, man, no, don't arrest him. He our man. They ain't gonna say shit. Cause them white boys coming. They don't give a fuck how you feel. If I say your punk ass ain't American, nigga, you ain't American. And they gonna stand their ass back and call their boss and be like, man, they came and got Raymond. I don't know what the fuck happened. He just came out of nowhere. But I let that go because I said I'm not even finna deal with this shit. When you in your life and you happy, you don't even let shit like that go. But I said, I distinctly, this is what he wouldn't know. I distinctly didn't go to the white neighborhood where they got 5 niggas working that'll do your fucking oil. I think it's called 5 minutes or less or some shit like that. But I said, my wife said, why the fuck you gonna go over there when you could just went right there? You was right over there. I said, I'm gonna take the money to the hood because this motherfucker, she said, but that hunky ass company ain't black. I said, but they paying taxes in our hood. So I'm gonna go support them. But then you go there and they got the Mexican nigga managing the oil joint. Okay, cool. That's your fucking company. I don't give a shit. But now he want to get attitude with me because I don't move in his movement. I don't know what the fuck wrong with this. I don't know, is he like that every day or some shit? I don't know the mother. I just come here to pay your pussy ass the money to get my car fixed. So you can understand the dynamic. This is in the hood, nigga. I'm not on the fucking north side. I'm not on the fucking western end or some fucking where. I'm in the fucking hood. I'm leaving the white neighborhood. It ain't nothing but niggas at that spot. Ain't no Mexicans running that one. It's all niggas in the white neighborhood. But I just drove up the street from the crib. I'm like, bet, I'm just gonna come and normally be back, motherfuckers. I ain't been in there in a minute. But boom, okay, cool. I don't give a fuck who managing it. But then you talking to me and shit like I'm supposed to fucking follow some puss ass. What the fuck who you talking to? I get the right to be offended, motherfucker. I get the right to have a feeling. I don't give a fuck if you like it. You ain't gotta be friends with me. We ain't getting to drink shit. We ain't gotta hang out, motherfucker. I have the right to tell you get the fuck out of my damn face. But as us, as black folks, it's like, oh my God, you aggressive. Call the police. He yelled at Raymond. Raymond was in here working, having a good time, and I don't know what's wrong with him. Now you sitting up in there and shit like, okay, now I got to deal with 5 police because this bitch ass nigga playing with me. It's what we deal with constantly. Constantly. So if you had to deal with that shit one fucked up summer, 13 bullshit ass winters, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to fucking hear it. You motherfuckers got to deal with what you got to deal with because look what the fuck we dealing with. And that's not to diss a culture because of that asshole. It's just the way it is. We have to deal with this shit. It's a part of the game. You can go in there and go somewhere today. It don't have to be that same motherfucker or that same person or same personality or same culture. It's what we deal with. It's normal. It's normalized. I don't even go inside Asian spots to get your hair shit. Man, I have a fucking moratorium on them motherfuckers. Completely. I don't give a fuck when it happened. I do not do it. It ain't shit you can sell me. That's just me. So you do the fuck you want to do, but I don't even do it. You ain't following me around. You ain't making me feel like I'm stealing on this bullshit. And beyond that, you won't even let another black motherfucker get in the business where it's flooding our neighborhoods. It's just fucking 2 black motherfuckers with a damn hair thing. 94 fucking hair salons, but only 2 black women with a fucking hair thing that they selling the shit. How's like that? 2,000 Asian motherfucker spots, plus 14 of motherfuckers doing the nails in the hood. So where's the black businesses at? It become a black outrage because you get tired of it. You get tired of seeing it. I was talking about Spike Lee movie, Do the Right Thing, and how back then it was the same ideology in that movie. It's still today's bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? You had to watch the movie for yourself, and when you get to the end, you will see how all of the races have a clash. That's what made the movie such a fucking dynamic movie because it was like 1986, and motherfuckers wasn't doing that. Everybody was trying to be all positive and friendly, but he was doing hip hop in movies, and it was doing that. He wasn't hip hop though. He was above. He was above that time frame, but he was still doing that with his cinema, which gave me galvanization to want to even become a filmmaker because I was seeing that shit at like 15, 16 years old. And it was like black shit. It was like, what? At the movies. Like, you don't see that shit no more. If you see black shit at the movie, the motherfucker wearing pantyhose. And that's not to diss it. It's just that's what it is. It's not like that no more. But at that time, it was. And all the white people knew about it. It wasn't like hidden and shit. It was at every fucking theater. You can go and watch it. He started throwing white people in the movies because it blew up so fast and so big. But it was still like they wasn't just white people in the movies just talking. They were the white people in the movie that gave it was a part of the story, like Jungle Fever and shit like that. It was really entrenched, dope ass stories. But that shit stopped. But as a kid, it didn't go away in your brain. So when you see shit like Jungle Fever and you see how today is, same thing. And when I was a kid, I had to be like 16 when I saw it, 1989. And when I saw it, it scared the shit out of me. I'm gonna keep it real. Scared the fuck out of me because I had never seen that with my own eyes. I had, you hear about it on TV. At that time, there was no cell phones. There was no video footage of shit. So it was just you hear about things. So when you saw it in the movie, I remember my heart thumping like, damn. The guy got killed by the police at the end, and I remember seeing it and the way he died. It was like, what the fuck? Shocked the shit out of me. And then you just started, a flood of that type of shit just being around and just being normalized in the world. So that's why I say they desensitize you for the shit we experience as black people to where it becomes normalized. It becomes okay for other cultures to say nigga. It becomes okay for you to get redlined out of a neighborhood. It becomes okay for a fucking bank to actually not give you a loan. Somebody told me, man, Uber is fucking the taxi game up. I said, Uber ain't doing shit to them. They did that shit to themselves. They refused to pick up black people to the extent that it became a part of the lexicon of America. You could watch movies and it was comical if a black person walked out to get a cab and he pulled up and drove off. That was like, but I'm black. So if I want to get a cab, that's okay until it actually happened to your ass. And then you standing outside and it's like, what? He's still sitting there. Hell no, I ain't taking your ass to the south side, he told me. And I'm sitting there like, it's 2 in the morning, we leaving the club. Train downtown. We know the hotel got the fucking cab, so we go to the cab spot. Dude sitting right there, hell no, I ain't taking you. So my black ass standing right there because there's also the bus stop, and I'm just standing there. Police swoop up, 1 a.m. Fuck y'all niggas doing right here? They know we ain't from the hotel. What the fuck y'all standing in front of this hotel for? We literally at the curb. We ain't even on the sidewalk, but we at the curb. The bus pull up. It's 2 in the morning. We gotta wait. So the motherfucking police pull up and say, "Don't the fucking bus run down here this late? Well, get a cab right there." And I said, "He won't take us." He said, "He won't take you." What? And he walked over there, tapped on their window because the motherfucker went to sleep. Tapped on the window, African nigga. That. Hey, you won't take them to the south side? No, I don't want to take you. He said, "Motherfucker, that's illegal. You better take them to the south side. I'm getting your shit. I'm going to tell him to lock your ass up." And he put us in the car and took us to the south side. But that's the shit you got to go through to get a fucking cab. So how the fuck is somebody doing some shit to them if that was your normal fucking practice? That's how you kicked it. Now when Uber around and you getting shitted on and ran over by some entrepreneur, duh, that's normal. You're supposed to be shitted on because that's how you treated the fucking customers. That's how you treated 35 million motherfuckers in America. You didn't need our money. So why the fuck you care about if you get ran over by a corporation who got smarts, who gonna let everybody get a ride? You don't get no fucking sweet move. You get what the fuck you put out. You wanted to be racist. You wanted to stand on that shit. You wanted to teach a culture of racism for centuries to where the fact that shit's in TV, where it's in movies, it's okay, it's normalized. It's normalized to be racist. It's okay. It's not looked upon as something of a problem. But if you become black outraged about it, you got to go to jail. You got to get in prison. And Diddy and them and that boy who broke out of jail, they're not great examples of a person or a way to be black outraged. These people are people who were nefarious in their time on this earth, in their time up to this day. That don't mean they can't find God and get their shit together. That don't mean they was probably guilty of the shit they claiming. But to have to go through the steps that they just went through, it obviously looked like you was up to some shit, whatever you was up to. You know what I'm saying? That's why they call it a jury of your peers. They the ones who get to figure that shit out. I don't have to. Unfortunately, if I knew you personally, maybe that'd be different. Or if your mom and them was in there, maybe it'd be different. But the people who you perpetrated against is the ones who get to make the ultimate decision. So trying to utilize them as a person or people to be outraged about a black outrage is not true. Even the birther thing is not a reason to be black outraged because all of this stuff is happening external of us, external of black people. These are their motions. These are their motions. These are their steps. These are their missions that they put about. You wanted to be in America. You wanted to come to America. You didn't give a fuck how it played out. And as soon as you got anything, whatever it was, you had to feel like you were stepping above black people, even though you knew by seeing in this country that the people was catapulting you above another culture who sit right here in this country, right amongst you, and you was okay with that. They let these people have neighborhoods in their towns. They call it the this town or the Lithuanians town or the Asian town, whatever they call it. Where's the black towns? They call it the hood. They call it the ghetto. It's no name. It's no respectable name for the black area. It's like they call it a title. It has a titlely name, but it's not nothing that we all utilize. It's like, where's the hood at? Where's the black experience? Where the black folk? It's like, where's our fucking neighborhoods at? And then when you go to these areas, it's littered with stores, even in their names, even in their language. Then you come to the black neighborhoods, none of these stores got our fucking names on it. None of these stores sell our products. None of these stores sell shit we make. So when you got a person like these billionaires, the Oprah, the Jay-Z, the fucking P. Diddy, and all their money is to just go buy opulent items to make white people more richer so that they can seem like they're more richer than black people who we already know they're more richer than us, what's the reason for you to be the billionaire? See, when the white folks got the money, they opened up sports teams. Now they can generate the money every single time playing double dutch. My team play your team. We sell T-shirts, tickets, cookies, popcorn, and beer, and we do this shit over and over. Put the news up there, get our media out there. They've been able to intertwine it. It's not saying that black people don't or can't. It's just that we don't see it. We see each other as I have to be above you. Well, look, I look at it like this. If we're the inventors and then we have a way about thinking and a way about being, then why don't we just utilize our actual way about thinking and being inside our invention? If our way of being is to step over the next black person, is to be the bigger, better black person and to be the one who's closest to white folks or the one who could work at the highest level for white people, why don't we utilize that inside our invention? Why can't we have our own video game or thing that actually depicts that? Where one black person had to step over the next black person, and then this black person had to step over the next black person, and then that's the fun of the game. And then you like, damn, he failed. Oh shit, man, he got indicted. Ah, fuck, he failed, man. What your guy do? Oh fuck, he got caught up with a sex crime. Damn, he fucked up too. Oh shit. Let's replay. Let's play again. Why can't we utilize that? Why is it just got to be all this negativity inside it? No, if everybody else can use togetherness and we all came from another country, we all speak the same language, we all came from here to come in to get the American dream, well, we should be utilizing the same thing, saying that, hey, we've been here all these years and we don't fuck with each other. We really ain't got no connection. We ain't got no one buying thought. So let's just utilize that shit to make money from it. Everybody else making money from what the fuck they are. They're not feeling embarrassed by it. They don't feel uncomfortable because they speak different languages. They don't feel different because they work for white people or got to have corporations or their grandparent and them speak their old language. They don't feel uncomfortable about that shit. They actually stand on that shit, and it's a fucking pride. So why are we unprideful? Because we don't like each other, because we don't really kick it, or because we competitive, or we can't wait to get better or more money than the next black person. These things should be something that we utilize to become better and create more from, instead of it just being, we just got all this badness in our culture, and why? We the great explainers, but we ain't no great solutioners. That's one solution right there. Make the shit work in our behalf that we already are, versus letting it be some old big standard thing that we can't reach. We trying to be these other people without the same fucking background, without the same cultural standards, without the same ideology. We can't be none of these other people. We can't never even, I'm not even a person that won't even live around a bunch of motherfuckers. I'm not saying I hate them, but if I can live around black people, that's a little bit better for me. I'm not interested in being around I don't want to walk outside and see some other damn folks. I'm sure they like that too. That don't mean I hate them or I don't like them or I wish they die. It's just that I've been living around black people in my city forever. And it's like, it's very segregated here. I didn't make the damn city. I don't know who named these motherfuckers what it is, but it's just like that. So if you around here and if you want to see some white people, you got to get in your car and drive to where the fuck they at. They're not going to be down the street. They're not going to be up the block 3 miles that way, 7 miles that way. It's not like that. You got to drive your ass to where the fuck they at. And they had to drive the fuck over here. Unless they call the police, then they just riding through this motherfucker anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it's just the way the world and the cultures was already made. It ain't like somebody actually did something to make it like that. So we should be utilizing our things, in my opinion, to try to make us better. That's why my last movie that I made is called Kill a Rapper, and it's actually on Tubi. And the subject matter that I tapped into is not normal. It's not just a drug dealer. It's not just a fucking relationship movie that's normal and boring. I gave it some kind of standard that I wanted to have, that I wanted to see, that I wanted to leave as a legacy. So if you want to see my movie, it's called Kill a Rapper. It's on Tubi. It's right now. It's an hour long and it's dope as fuck. And I'm making a new joint, but that one I want you to see because it layers more on top of what I'm talking about right now. And when this video is over, you're going to see a nice little clip or a nice little new video that you can watch right above or on the side. And I want you to clip that too because it's going to probably be a continuation or either the video right before I made this video or even a playlist about this stuff. So I want to appreciate y'all for watching this video, kicking with me for an hour and a half. Y'all stood tall. Y'all rock with me. I gave you Black Outrage 5. And this series is going to keep going. And I want you also to check out some of my stuff in the comments in the description because I got the new Hood Films hustle tips going. And y'all going to be learning how to get your shit monetized, get money out here, get a bag off your commentary, get a bag off your films. And I appreciate y'all watching. And that's all I got. Peace.